Hello everyone, welcome back to Shapes 2. Yesterday, we struggled a lot with an easy task. I tried to build a large-scale factory for, these things. And I built a large factory for, I don't know, large, it depends on scale, right? At the moment, it feels large. For the components of this, but I didn't realize the rotational problems that you have when you have stacked pieces. Because although any orientation of blue and gray chips is fine to deliver for step 1, just the base, there's some orientations you can't use. There's no way you can rotate them to be correct to actually be properly oriented for stacking like this. And I don't know, I had a lot of thoughts about it, but during the episode, but in between episodes I had a better thought, which was, wait a minute, didn't I do something like this a while ago? And it was just easy. And the answer is yes, of course. Why else would I be telling you about this thought? Way over here, when we built the green checkered squares, I said, wait a minute, wouldn't a checkered square... There are two orientations of checkered square, and we're getting them both here, and I think we then, rotate one of them or something. No, we just... Yeah, we just deliver them like this. But notice they are in two different orientations. One of them, I think this one, if I cut it in half vertically, it would be oriented wrong. Both halves, right? But this one, if I cut it in half vertically, they'd both be oriented right. To be assembled into this shape. Because we have color in the top right and blank in the top left, which we get out of this one. And then if, that's what the right half would just be. And the left half, if we cut the left half off and rotate it at 180, it also perfectly lines up, where this one is backwards. It would be colored on the bottom right, gray on the top right. But if I just make these and then rotate the ones that are oriented wrong before cutting, then I get two full squares of correctly oriented checkerboards, which I can cut in half and have 4 belts worth of correctly oriented dominoes. So this here is something I should probably just save, right? Because this is kind of a diagonal exchanger that I've talked in the past about wanting to build, and I didn't realize I've already built it. And again, we haven't... Once we get to... Was it 30? 50? 50. We can unlock the third floor, and then I think we should start retooling all of our stuff to be doing 3 full belts, or 3 level space belts instead of 1 level space belts. But I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to do the intermediate retooling of going to just 2 full space belts. 2 layer space belts. So, in the meantime, this factory is perfect. I want to, just save this as a diagonal exchanger. Well, let's call it a 4 belt because that's what we're calling everything these days. And it does matter a little bit. There are 2 different orientations of diagonal exchanger you could make, I think. And this is one of them. But I don't think the details matter so much at the moment. So this is a 4... I don't even know what you call this. I don't have a picture for this concept. Sine wave. There you go. And this is huge. This we'll say sure. This is a good shape for it. Because what we're doing is yeah, because the southwest to northeast diagonal of both shapes remains the same. That's the one that's not swapped. And you could make one that, or, swap different diagonals. But you could also just take this and put a rotator in front of it if you want it to act like the other kind. So I don't think there's much need to do any weird, like having both. So, all that said, I think, like, everything here can go, basically. Aside from the square painters, which would be nice to hang on to. But even those, they're currently, like, painting half squares. So I think I'll just delete all of this and start over. So this is my cool blueprint for... Well, and I only need 2 painters, I guess, here. Okay, let's just paste that so I have easy access to it. Because I'm painting... I'm going to have 4 squares, and I want to paint 2 of them, right? And then exchange them, and then cut them. Half of them. No. All of them, but rotate some of them first. So... let's actually... Which direction does this go? It goes like that. So what I'm gonna want is a little bit more interesting, right? We're gonna have this, but a 4-belt cutter oriented like this in front of each of them, but one of them needs to be painted first. So it's, I don't know, a little bit... The spacing on this is weird. I'm gonna want 4 of these, right? Because I have 4 squares. Yeah. And then each one needs 2 cutters? Is that right? No, there's gonna be 2 of these, because I have 4 squares and each one takes 2 lanes of input. Okay. Maybe, I guess, I kind of just want it here, right? And the other one to be basically here, because it wants a rotator. So I think I'll actually scoot it back for just symmetry. Like that. Well, except this one is supposed to be rotated first. Or one of them is. I don't know which. Let's find out. How do I lay this all out? Actually, I guess another thing I could do is just... where's my painter? Here. I could put the painter right there, leading into this kind of brick, right? So that this is my pastable little factory for much of the job? Yeah, this is looking pretty. So let's say, for now, I'm just going to lay out one of these to see how it works. This isn't, I mean, like that. The other one, like I said, I'm not currently trying for the final layout. I just want to understand how it will work. Which orientation will we get? It doesn't know yet because the pieces aren't here. Okay. Could I predict? No, not really. I guess is my answer. Okay. So this is where the blue squares are, and these are going to be the gray squares. And I seem to recall we take the northwest to southeast diagonals and exchange it with the other one. I can't predict what that's going to look like. I told you I'm shape handicapped. So I'm really looking forward to what these little labels tell me. So this one is the one that needs to be rotated. This one is the orientation we need. Although I still don't... Am I just like oriented wrong? Because these aren't labeled. If I looked at things like this, they would... Or no, it's the same. Yeah, because of course... Yeah, right. There's no rotation you could do looking at this shape to get it to look like this shape, and that was the point of this whole exercise. Yeah, there is. There wouldn't be after cutting. Okay, so how do I know? Like, I guess this is the north view, right? This way is up. And so looking at it in this direction tells you what the shapes look like from the point of view of a cutter, basically. So if I cut this one vertically, we are sad? No, we're happy. If I cut this one vertically, we're sad. So this is the one that needs to be rotated first. Okay. So it goes kind of like this, I guess. Remind me again. This is the one that rotates. And I have this rotator just sitting here. And it's not 180, right? Correct. So now... this piece is correctly oriented. This piece is correctly oriented. Now, they're off by 180 degrees, but that's okay. Because I can just do a rotation. So now... this gives me 4 lines of this stuff, of these squares, of these dominoes. And frankly, that is, that feels like it should be enough to sate my ambition. Because I built big yesterday and I felt bad about it, and you don't actually need all that many in the grand scheme of things. So I think I'll be okay. In the end, it's only 1 lane worth of this, but that's still like 480 per minute. So this is like, right? Am I wrong about that? 480. No, it's 480 because a single belt is 120. And we're making 4 single normal belts. 1 full space belt. Yeah. So we could deliver this in a few minutes. No need to scale this up any further, really. All the rest of this can just, like, get deleted. And I don't even need the rest of the train's deliveries either. Kind of funny, but there you are. Which means, okay, that first of all, I think I want a different delivery. Well... This delivery mechanism is absurdly roundabout for no good reason. But that's fine. Just make sure there's a little more space for this stuff to get out. Well, no, it's kind of not fine. We're taking up useful construction space here. This would have... I'm still... Okay, there we go. Still can't get this done right. This would be a much better way to have delivered these squares in the first place. So let's just chop all this out. Actually, let's not do all of it. The stuff that's... Yeah, we already have a steady stream of squares getting in from this one. We don't need the rest, that other line at all anymore. Yeah, these are all the same shape, just rotated differently. Aha! So, like that, except I want another 90-degree rotator here, so they're all exactly the same rotation. No, that would be a 180-degree rotator, wouldn't it? A pi rotator. There we go. And there's no special, like... I don't know. Why do I want them to be oriented the same way? The next thing I'm going to do is offset one of them so it's rotated a different way, right? So let's do 90. Actually, is this, well, what do I get out of this? Bottom right blue. This is bottom left blue. So this one goes on top of this one. Like so, right? What do I have now? A desirable shape. Okay, there we go, finally. But like that. And then this is the shape that I need to copy here, right? Where's the entry point for it? This? Just mirror it a bit. There we go. And this is... Totally wrong. Okay, great. I needed... No, this was right. I think I just got confused about what the entry point was. Yes. The point is I'm supposed to paste this cutter on top of the, like this, the existing one. And this is more of my desirable shape. And remember that we're using this... Oh, is the train... Why is the train... It's going somewhere. This is just the depot. We're using these 4 lanes because we should... Like, the train... We should be filling this up. The train takes longer to go than it does... what am I saying? In the time the train is transiting, we could overfill one of these loading platforms, so I just made 4. And they're not splitting evenly, but it's, like, fine. You could make them split evenly, I guess, right? Wouldn't be hard. If you did... something like... this, right? And I guess I could have moved this further over. Okay, it has blocked, it seems. Why would that be? There's still some stuff going, but it should be going full bore, no? This is... Both belts are running pretty fast. I mean, it looks like this machine's... Okay, maybe it just took a while. It's going pretty fast. I mean, it's not full speed or anything, but all of the belts are mostly full, which I guess is good enough for me. I guess if there were ever a blockage on this lane, it would slow this stuff down too, for a similar reason, right? So maybe that's a problem. So the reason that I redid these belts is that now it actually is splitting fairly, right? Half of them go to one of these two, and among those, it's divided evenly. Likewise, half of them go to these two, and among those, it's divided evenly. If you have them go here, and then split to go this way or down, then split to go this way or down, it's like half of them go here, then a quarter, then an eighth, and an eighth. But this should load evenly. We have our first delivery of actual shapes. It'll be nice to have finally done this. Even though I could have done it much sooner. There goes my one package, I think. Let's follow that train. I want to make sure it actually is the right thing. It would be quite embarrassing if it were wrong after all this again. Yeah, upgrading train throughput and speed would be nice eventually, but I think my compensation method of just having more loading zones is the right answer for these long-haul trains. I mean, I say long-haul. In the grand scheme of things, it's not very far, right? Okay, here it goes. Delivering. 360 shapes, yeah, so it was one package. And now there should be, like, several packages for the next train, right? 1, 2, 2 more. Okay, well, not quite enough, is it? 360 times 3 is just short. It's 1080. Yeah. But now, the thing we have to do next... Yeah, we have enough packets here. We could stop delivering this. Is actually... glue these guys together, right? And that's not going to be complicated. So which one has to go on top? I guess, in some sense, it almost is immaterial. I could put either one on top as long as I orient it right. But what I should put on top of this is a top left blue, top right gray. Right? No, well, from the orientation of what I have here, anyway. So that would be this rotated counterclockwise. Or just this. Okay, so actually... Cash it in! We finally accomplished something. So this, I'm just gonna trash for now. We'll need it again in a bit. When we're delivering the full finished shape. There, right? That looks right. I guess you could do this with one fewer belt if you cut the line here and it went this way, but it looks more nicely symmetrical this way. Well worth the one extra belt, which costs basically nothing. How many do we eventually need of this? 4 packets again. So these should all fill up at basically the same time, I would think. And then the train will just deliver the whole load at once, I hope. I do wish I had managed to build more of this stuff. But I'm happy to just finally have understood what I was doing wrong and found a relatively elegant solution to building the whole thing better. Like, compare this to what was here before, which was a nightmare and didn't even work. This is small potatoes, but at least it's pretty-ish and it works. Right? And we're still, like, not close to delivering a package. Okay, well... I guess it's kind of silly to sit around and watch this, then. Let's maybe go work on a milestone shape. I remember I milestoned this. Why did I think this was cool? It has the stuff I want here, right? We just need to trim off... the diagonals. Now, we were just demonstrating that we have already designed a factory that can extract the diagonals from 2 shapes. But it has to be 2 shapes. I don't have one that just gives me the diagonals of a shape. I can't say, oh, swap diagonals of this and an empty shape, because there's no such thing as an empty shape, as far as I'm aware. You can't deliver that. It would be cool if you could. Just mine a nothing shape. Maybe with pins, like we're gonna get at some point. Like maybe those count as empty, although I don't think so. Well, how does this work? Support pins, you build shapes that are impossible to build otherwise, yeah. Put support pins under non-empty. Yeah, hold them, can be stacked, right. So, I still don't really understand shapes falling through each other when stacked as well as I thought I did, I guess. Because I sort of thought that when you used a stacker, any parts of the shape that don't align would fall through. But the shape I'm currently building is a disproof of that, right? This shape has a square here that's not supported by anything under it, but it doesn't fall through. So it seems like, actually, shapes... within a layer, shapes that are connected by an edge and not just a corner are stuck together. Because I think we've seen that shapes connected only by a corner can fall through into other shapes. I think we've seen that. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, we're done. 1440. Okay, great. Yeah, that was all four of them delivering at once. So, okay, that's good to know. Now, I just tear this... Well, no, I don't. Well, put that back. Just instead of trashing here, I build a stacker, right? This is rotated how? Top right blue. Yeah, so stack. How does this go? The blue goes on the gray. That's top right blue. Okay, so this one is the base. Like that. Right? Why are you not telling me what shape you want to make? You have made that shape. Is it a good shape? It looks good. Now the real question I have is, if I stack it on this shape, will I get what I want? I want the lowest blue to be on the top left here, and that's what I have. So yeah, these will stack up and just be great. Okay, it looks like it did not clear the train's concept of what should be there for just that one package for some reason. Yeah, and now we get the whole shebang. Great. Alright. So I'm glad that ordeal is finally over, and I certainly learned some lessons from it. Not all the lessons I should have learned, but some of them. The thing is, I guess, this shape is even better than it looks. Because the top left and bottom right are this, and the bottom left and top right are this. So I actually want all of this shape. And I want to swap it with a circle? I want to diagonally exchange it with a circle, I think? Yeah, just a normal circle. Well, no. Ideally, it would be a top left and bottom right circle. Do I have those around anywhere? That would just be everything. Oh wait, what is this? It's this! these... Oh, wait. This is almost really good. And it's right next door. But it's not quite. It's really close, though, isn't it? If I... Because these two shapes make up exactly the ingredients that I want here. They're not quite oriented right, but they're pretty close. I'll eventually want more of all of it, I guess. But there's tons. I have tons of mining space here, so that's great. There's even red paint here, and where's the nearest blue paint? I mean, not miles away. So actually, this sucks. Delete this. I want this guy. This is my dream. Because actually, now that I look at it, what I eventually want is this shape twice and this shape twice when I combine them. So just like connecting these in a way that they can make the shapes I want once, I'll just do it again and then stack them together, right? Yes. Now, if I could... How do I have to swap this to make it line up properly for an exchange with this? Is that even the right way to think about it? The only thing I can think doesn't make sense. Let's mark this, by the way, before I forget. Milestone 3, 4. Oh, and I can, I guess, even like say. Milestones, let's just say this. Give me that shape code. There we go. Raw squares, how funny, I thought that was worth marking at one point. Oh, I need green, red and green and blue paint. And none of them are miles away. Oh, look at this. This one's also pretty good. What's your deal? You're this shape. Exactly. Wow. Okay. Well, maybe I can just find this shape lying around somewhere. But I guess even if I don't, which it's so hard to do, scan the map for stuff like this. I've really simplified the question of how to build this, because I can just extract this and paint it, or not that, but this, and paint it blue, and I like have this shape. Oh, or this is the same? It's even closer? Well, it's closer to delivery. But it's not as close to this, which is kind of what I need. Look, this is the same shape as well. It's everywhere. Why? Ah! Hello! Look at you. So the thing is, I don't actually want a whole thing. Even for the final layer, when I'm going to want this, I have to paint it separately, right? So I have to find a way to break it up into opposing diagonals. And like I said, if I could just swap it with an empty shape, I could do that. But I don't have that. So maybe it's time, then, to design a diagonal extractor machine. Right? Because it would be very useful right now, and I don't quite have it, but like I want it. And how hard could it be? You know, it's only going to be doing 1 lane's worth because I haven't yet advanced the point of 3 lanes. As I said, I'm just going to stick with 1 lane until then and then make things miserable for myself by going straight to 3. I mean, I could start by doing 2 lanes now, I suppose. Like, this machine, does it depend on anything else I've already done? How would you do a diagonal extractor? The obvious first thing to do is a cutter, which I already have designed for 1 lane, but not for 2. So I think I should do that. Stick with 1 lane for that reason. Then once you've cut it in half, you kind of have to cut each half in half again, right? Do you? I guess if you want the diagonals as 2 separate pieces, you have no choice. If you wanted something that could, like, do a diagonal exchange, but I already have that, so no. Because I do need them separate here. I need to be able to deliver the reds without the greens for the first step, even though the next thing I'm going to do is combine them. And to get these greens separate from the reds, you have to cut twice. Once along this line and once along this line. So I think there's no way around it. So let's grab a cutter. Like that, say. And then each of those needs to feed straight into another cutter. And then we just have to put the pieces back together, and you know, it's going to involve some funky routing, I'm sure. But it should be pretty simple. Just find the pieces that belong together, which should be like this one and this one, I assume, and this one and this one, but you know, I'm not putting any money on it. Oh, of course. You're gonna have to rotate first, both of them by... Let's see, if I want them to end up in opposite hemispheres... The left, if I rotated it counterclockwise, would be on the bottom. The right, if I want it on the top, I should also go counterclockwise. Okay. So this is bottom left. and bottom right. This is top right and top left. So indeed, I want to do a crisscross where this goes here and this goes here. What is the non-horrible way to route that, I wonder? Well, what if I do something like this? That's not quite good enough. I need even more space. No, I don't. Just delete that. And go like so, right? Where here we put in a stacker, and it doesn't even matter which one's the top or the bottom, because they're just going to fall through each other. And we get out here, yeah, diagonal. And then I have to connect this side here, or vice versa. And vice versa is going to be easier, right? Hey, we're done. Because it's a little bit annoying, but I think what I need to actually do is this, so that I can send you does that make sense? I know it's an annoying constraint. If I'm designing a blueprintable factory, it kind of sucks to have the requirement that the input belt has to be tunneled, right? It would be nice if it just could receive input any old way. But I guess either way, I'm going to be making some weird use of space. Oh, you know what's funny? Oh, that's so weird. I don't necessarily have to belt under anything. I can use the second floor of these rotator factories to run the belt through here if I wanted, right? But I guess I could only do that with one of them. But that's fine. I only need one. Because this one I routed with undergrounds. And I just need to get this one to here. Right? So I think it's annoying that I can't. I mean, it makes total sense that you can't like turn while coming out of one of these things. And I have enough space that that's what I wish I could do. But I guess I just want to make it so that the input doesn't have to be undergrounded is all. Like, I don't think I should really have this requirement. I think I should work around this. It's just a little ugly to do so. Well, you know what might be better? What if... What if I made it a little bit wider so I had more room to maneuver on one of these? How long is this underground allowed to be? This is the maximum length, so I could make this one wider. If I took all of this and put it there. No. Like so. Yeah. That's better, because now I can do this. Pretty cool, eh? Oops. Hey. Then put that stacker in. Okay, and let's clear all this inventory because I assume some stuff is backed up. Why does that not work? There we go. I did it like 15 times. So now here we have upper left and bottom right diagonal. And here you have upper right and bottom left diagonal. Perfect. And I mean, it's not that bad, right? Design-wise, it's almost pleasant. It won't scale once I decide I want to do like 2 belts worth of stuff with this. But nothing will. I'm going to have to throw everything away when I decide I want to go from, you know, 4 belts of input to 12 belts of input. Everything's going to need to be bigger. So... is there red paint, like, right there? Yeah. I mean, I guess we should just go. Don't get into anything more complicated. I designed... oh, let's copy this, actually. I don't know how long it's going to live, but I want to save this beauty as a diagonal extractor. Wait, don't I have... no, I have a diagonal swapper. I don't have a diagonal extractor. For... those look like diagonals. I don't know. And I guess it's a big old platform, huh? I guess this is fine. Tomorrow we'll paint it and deliver this. We'll paint some of these and deliver them, and then we'll start stacking them together, and this milestone will fly by. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.